Jane Sjuts with Peace Coaching Worldwide. Thanks for stopping by today. I was going to talk to you a little bit about relationships that seem to be abusive or toxic. And I was thinking about if you ever wondered why people stay in toxic or abusive relationships. You know, you hear about women who are being abused by their husbands or whatnot. We'll just use that as an example. Men can be abused by women also, but more predominantly, women are abused by men. But have you ever wondered why do they stay in that relationship? You'd think, I would never let anyone treat me that way. But what we don't understand when we're in a relationship like that, the other person might not always be abusive. There's a thing called a cycle of abuse. There's a love bombing stage where the other person is very nice to you, and then there's a buildup where they start building tension in themselves, and then there's the explosion where they have their meltdown and they abuse the other person. They take all their frustrations out on the other person, and that might be physical abuse, or it might come in the form of emotional abuse, which is sometimes more hurtful than the physical abuse because those wounds are not seen by anyone else, and they don't heal as fast because they stay inside of you and they can fester. So you might wonder, why would anybody stay with someone who is abusing them? Well, in that cycle of abuse, during the love bombing stage of that person acts very nice. And so when they're acting nice, the woman will, as in this case, finds themselves thinking, oh, what happened was just an accident, or they were stressed out. They start making excuses for that behavior, and they say, maybe now it won't happen again. And you get lulled into that sense of, I want them to be like this all of the time, and you get to hope and pray that's the way it's going to stay, and because I love them so much, and we're just going to stay with them because I think that's what happened. It was just a bad day. But then pretty soon the cycle comes around. Sometimes this cycle takes a while to go around, and sometimes it goes around very quickly. And in situations like that, it's hard to break free of losing the person that you know that they can be. So when they're in there's the cycle of being nice to you, that's the person that you fell in love with. That's the person that you want to be with. They're fun. They're nice. Everything's great. So I was thinking about that some more, and I was wondering, then why do people stay in that? They know after a while that it's going to come around again and again and again. And so why would somebody stay in that? Well, there's something called trauma bonding, which you kind of get bonded to that cycle. You look for the highs of the relationship and tend to try and forget about the lows. So that might be one reason that people stay. Another reason they might stay is that they grew up in a situation like that where there was lots of abuse, and that feels normal to them. And so they stay because that's what they know. They grew up with that. So that's hard to understand for some people who didn't grow up in that. But then there's some people who didn't grow up in that, and they find themselves in an abusive relationship. So why are they staying? Well, maybe there might be a part of you that feels like you don't deserve to be treated any better. Somewhere along the line, you got the feeling or the idea that you weren't worthy of being loved, or you weren't worthy of being treated any better than that. That could have happened when you were very, very young. So you stay in this situation because you think, I don't deserve to be treated any better. Well, the truth of the matter is that everyone should be treated with kindness and love and respect. And the only person that can uh, guarantee that that's going to happen is you. You are the one that is going to decide where your boundaries are and whether you're going to let someone cross those boundaries and treat you in a hurtful way. Lots to think about. Lots of hard decisions can come from that, and sometimes when it is an abusive or a toxic relationship, it can be somewhat dangerous to leave it if that's what you decide you want to do. Hopefully you can work through the problem, and some people are willing to change what they do and how they treat you, and others aren't. So if you find yourself in a situation where they're not willing to change, I hope you can find someone to help you and talk with that can bring you some peace and understanding that you do deserve to be treated nicely and in a loving way. And the only one that can make that happen is you. So, thanks for stopping by.